Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. Well, here we are, almost the end of July. We got one more day in the month of July, and then we hit August. Typically, July is the big summer vacation time, and lots of folks around my neck of the woods have been going on vacation, and perhaps you have too. So I hope you've had a good month. I hope you've enjoyed it and been a part of all the great things God's been doing. I hope you've been able to see God at work in your life during this month. Now I'm going to finish up the month with another session on the Ten Commandments. We've gotten to verse 12 now, and verse 12 changes the tone of the commandments a little bit. Verse 12 starts getting very, very personal and very, very direct at specific personal behavior. I know keeping the Sabbath is that, but that's more of a generalized rule. This one starts hitting very, very specific things that God says. So let's read it. Verse 12. Honor your father and your mother. Then you will live a long life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. What does it mean to honor somebody? Well, it's not something we talk about much in our culture today. We don't really talk about honor very much, hardly ever talk about integrity. I think it's sad that we've lost the meaning of those words, and particularly in our political discourse, where they don't seem to have any space at all in the public arena. But God's very specific here. He says honor, meaning give respect to. Treat them with care, recognizing their sacrifices made, recognizing that their lives have meant something. Now, as soon as I say that, the first thing that comes to my head is, what about all these people that don't have good mothers and fathers? What about those who have alcoholics or abusive parents, physically, sexually, emotionally? What about those who have addiction parents? What about those who have aloof parents? You know, these are problems that are part of our modern society. They really weren't there very much in Moses' day. Oh, I'm sure there were some parents who weren't really good parents, but they were ostracized. They were pushed out. They were looked down upon in specific ways, so that even if that's what they did or wanted to do, they didn't do it very much. Today, hey, it's carte blanche. You can do what you want to do, and you hear that over and over and over again. So what about those parents? How do you respect them? Well, let's back up a second and we'll go a little bit further here. I know that everybody thinks that being a parent is a wonderful job, but it's a really hard job. A lot of people just aren't really cut out for it. They don't have the personality traits that would understand the importance of their lives now compared to their children. I would also say that in our society we have some very selfish people. The people who are parents often see their children as a distraction, something they shouldn't have to deal with. Now, I'm sure you had wonderful parents. At least I hope so. I wish I could say that. Now, I didn't have horrible parents. I just didn't have parents that were very intimate with me as a son. I had a dad who worked most of the time, and he saw that as his role. I had a mom who worked much of her time, and she needed to do that for the family. And I had a mom who really liked my older brother and didn't really care that much about me. I never did quite understand all those dynamics, but that's the way it was. So how do you show respect, even to the ones who aren't perfect? See, that's the hard part about this commandment. Oh, it's easy to respect the wonderful, loving, caring mom and dad or grandma and granddad that people have. It really is. I mean, you just want to do that. But what about those that you don't want to do that to? Well, that's what this verse is talking about. Honor your parents, regardless. Now, that doesn't mean that you excuse the behavior. Oh, no. No. Not suggesting that at all. Doesn't mean that you enable the behavior. A lot of parents mooch off of their kids when they get older. And they just keep wanting more and more and more and more and more. That's not what he's talking about. But you can treat them with respect. You can give them the kind of honor and the kind of behavior that you wanted them to give you, even if you didn't get it. You see, I can rise above the way I was raised. Oh yeah, I understand. Some of y'all are saying, but you don't understand. No, I do understand. It's hard. It's so much easier if you had a really loving, caring mom and dad. It really is. But for many who are listening to me, that's not what you had. Now, I do think that over time we tend to forget the bad things and remember the good ones. So maybe we embellish what those folks were like. But regardless of what they did, this is a commandment for what you are to do. You see, we are responsible for ourselves. Whatever lot in life we're given, we're still responsible for it. We're responsible to be who God wants us to be, regardless of our background. In some cases, that's not so difficult. In others, it takes a lot of work. But we get rewarded by that work because it says here that if you do that, you will live a long life, a full life, in the land of the Lord that the Lord has given you. You see, not holding anger and resentment and disgust against parents, in this case, not doing that will remove those obstacles to long life. If we don't respect our parents, regardless of what they did or didn't do, then we are really bringing their situation onto our shoulders, and it will wear us out. It really will. I'm not a therapist, but I can figure that one out. So today, I hope you'll think about your parents if they're still around. Many of us, our parents are gone or long gone. I can't do anything else to honor them at this point. But many of you do have parents, and many of you are parents. So be sure you do everything you can to be respectful and kind and gracious to your kids, regardless. And be sure that you do everything you can to show those same characteristics to your parents. As Jesus said, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. That's an important verse. Well, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great weekend. If something comes up that we can help you with, or a prayer need, let us know. We'll do everything we can, as fast as we can, to help meet your need. God bless you. I'll see you on Monday.